Hi guys, so as I promised, I am going to be making a lasagna tonight. Very easy to do if you know how. And the first step is I'm going to make the really nice ragu to go inside the lasagna. And I'm going to start that first because what I like to do is to let that cook for a long time so the flavours get really rich inside of it and it makes it taste that much better. So right now I'm just going to do some chopping. So I've got 2 carrots, an onion which I've cut into quarters, 2 cloves of garlic and some celery sticks. So I'm literally just going to slice these up. Now that's done, it says to crush the garlic, essentially peel and crush. So just with the flat blade on the knife, I'm just going to crush that. And that's that done. So that's all the stuff I need to start off the ragu, and then in here I have my mince ready for that as well, and I'll chuck this in the compost. Excellent! Time to start cooking. So after I've chopped all that up, next stage is to get it into a pan, and I'm just going to cook it until it's nice and golden and really soft. Then I'm going to add the meat in. So to do that, I've got a nice big-ish pan with a lid as well, so I can put it on top so it can also kind of almost circle. And then what I'm going to do is add a bit of olive oil to this, and I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to turn it on. Okay, so now in the vegetables go in a low heat. So that's the celery, and I'll check into the onion, carrot, lots and lots of stuff here. Maybe a bit too much carrot, but there we go. Absolutely lovely. And then this is, as I said, keep it on a low heat. You don't want to cook it too much. You want it to almost slow cook inside there, so it releases as much flavour as possible. And my advice is to leave the lid on, so that any juices that come out stay in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the juice from the onions and stuff.
And juice.
So I'll just get that cooking up, and I would now just put the lid on and leave it to cook. Mixing occasionally every, 2 minutes or so, just mix it around and just get it really nice and really soft. Added in some wonderful rosemary. I am very lucky in that we have some rosemary in the garden. So as you can see, it's all quite soft now. And I've just added in the rosemary for the last kind of 2 minutes of cooking, so that it will give a lot of really nice flavour into those vegetables, which will transfer over to the meat as well. Right, and now I can add in the wonderful meat which we had minced today for us. There we go, out of the plastic bag and into the frying pan. Really nice red meat there. We've got that mince for us at the store. It's a really nice store, and they did have some mince there already made, but we decided to go for this instead. They decided to properly mince. It's just some beef.
You've done it properly. Yeah. Excellent.
There's not much fat in it either. Going to cook this up now, and then what I'll do in a minute is, after I've done that, I'll add in some wine. So now, as you can see, it's got a nice little brown colour, and it's still kind of liquidy, so you kind of want it to absorb up as much of that liquid as possible, but it's kind of alright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in some wine to give it some more flavour, and I'll just pour in a bit. More. And now I'm just going to let that mix that, stir it all together, and then I'm just going to leave that to cook and allow the wine to all evaporate. I just want to get that flavour in there. I've got a nice little Merlot as well, which should be able to add in some lovely flavour to the meat. Lovely stuff. Okay. So I'm going to leave that, let that start to boil. I'm going to leave the lid off so that the liquid can evaporate, and I'm going to quickly go to the store, and I'm going to go. I'm going to go and grab some tomatoes because I managed to forget to pick them up when I went to Sainsbury's earlier. So time to quickly run out and grab some tinned tomatoes. Oh, the excitement! Catch you later. So I have the wine has reduced, and I've now added in 2 cans of chopped tomatoes. What I'm going to do, turn up the heat a bit just to get it boiling a bit, and then what I'll do is I'll leave it as long as possible with the lid off to allow it to really create a really nice thick sauce. While I'm doing that, I'm going to make some bechamel sauce. Fun times. And don't forget to put in the salt and pepper, because otherwise your girlfriend will shout at you. Lesson learned. Sorry. There we go. Lovely. Good. Right, so bechamel sauce time. Now what you need for this, I am making quite a lot of bechamel sauce. So I'm using 1 litre of whole milk. I am using half an onion, which I'm just going to take off the actual pieces of, break it up a bit, just to kind of get the maximum surface area. If you've ever done any kind of chemistry, you'll know that maximum surface area means maximum effect. So just chucking all that in there. Then I can break it all up. Perfect. I'm just going to tear these up a bit. Right, perfect. And then I also added 2 bay leaves. These are fresh from my garden as well. I have a nice little herb garden out back. And then I need to get some of these nutmegs. I'm going to get some of this nutmeg, and I am going to grate it in. Right, that should do. You don't want too much nutmeg because it's quite a powerful flavour, so I'll leave it like that. And I'm just going to let it boil now. So I'm going to turn it up to boil. When it starts to boil, I'm going to leave it to simmer and essentially let it do that for a while, just so that the flavours infuse. So maybe let it simmer for 15 minutes or so. And the flavour will infuse and make a really nice, really strong bechamel sauce. Perfect. So the bechamel sauce is pretty much done. Well, not the sauce, but the actual flavours behind it are done. I just need to kind of make sure this keeps on simmering. It's a bit difficult in this pan, and also because the milk keeps on creating a skin. But just keep on stirring it and making sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom or anything. And in this pan, I am just about to start heating up some butter, to which I'm going to make a roux with some flour. And then I'm going to slowly add in the flavours that I've created in the milk, which I'm going to strain out using that sieve. Happy times. Right, so I've got about 50 grams of butter, which has all been melted inside the pan. And I've got 50 grams of flour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck in that flour there, and I'm going to start giving it a nice little stir around so that it all mixes together and creates almost like a little paste texture. So that it's almost like there's no butter left, it's just flour. So the butter all melts into the flour. And now I've got that, I want to keep that warm and keep on whisking it for a bit. And then this is the bechamel flavours which I have strained out into that jug. So I'm going to slowly add them in. Add that in. Mix it all together. So I'm just basically just going to try and make a sauce, essentially. A bit more of it. Keep them stirring. It's quite thick if you look at it at the moment. There you go. Very thick. Adding just more and more of the flavours. Get it to a nice consistency, which we can then add into the lasagna. And it's got a really nice smell. You can smell that that wonderful nutmeg alongside the bay leaves and onions. The main flavour standing out being the nutmeg, because as I said, it's a very strong flavour, which is why you don't want to add it too much, otherwise it really overpowers it. And I just whisk it, make sure it's all smooth, and just keep that nice and whisked. And add some more in, just so that you can nice consistency. But if you've never made a roux before, that's essentially how you make a roux. It's the equal parts butter to equal parts flour. You melt the butter, add in the flour, mix it all up. And then you can add in milk, cheese. I made a lovely cheese sauce the other night, which included those. Included both mustard and lots and lots of really nice cheese. So have a go at trying to add different things, different flavours. That's kind of how I make most bases of most sauces I make. It's just really easy to do, starting off with that roux. Anyway, we'll keep this bubbling away and come back when we need it. And once this wonderful ragu has started to, which is slow cooking there, has actually managed to boil down a bit into a bit more of a thicker consistency, and then we'll start putting together our lasagna. Until later. Right, so I've just started boiling the pasta sheets. Now I'm doing them 3 at a time because they tend to stick together and it's a bit difficult, but cook them and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer of this bechamel sauce at the bottom of this pan. Get it all mixed down and mixed out. And then I'm going to add the pasta. Just make sure you've got just got one sheet. Careful don't fall apart in your hands. And there's one. There's 2. There's 3. Now, as I said, they tend to stick together, so do 3 at a time. So while I do that, I'm just going to chuck in the next 3, just to get them started. And make sure you got a bit of oil in there so they don't stick together too much. And now, on this bit, I'm going to add a bit of mozzarella cheese. Grate that up all over there, and also some of this wonderful ragu which I have painstakingly made. It's been cooking for a good hour and a half or so. So I'm just going to splash by some of the sauce. And now I've got to put it in. So I'm only going to make really 2 layers of this because there's not a huge amount. One more scoop and then we'll leave the rest for the top. There we go. And then so essentially you just got to repeat that with each layer. I'm also going to put some of this parmesan on there as well. Just want to make it really nice and cheesy because it makes it taste nice. So. Right, and then I'm going to wait for these to cook. Probably about 2 minutes left in them. So finish them off cooking and then split them up, making sure that they cook separately, and then put them in, and then just repeat it, and then I'll show you the end product in a minute. So here is the finished product. I put some knobs on bottom on the top. I don't know why, but the recipe said to put that. So my girlfriend's not in agreement with me, but put lots of cheese on, so she'll be happy because she loves cheese. Right, time to go in the oven. Should be good. Fingers crossed if I didn't drop it. There we go. So it's on. It's supposed to be 180, but this oven's a bit dodgy, so I put it on 109. Oops, ow, 190. And put it on for half an hour. And we'll be back here in half an hour, and hopefully this can be looking lovely. Right, so here it is, cutting it open. Ooh, lovely. That is going to be nice. Perfect. Right, let me grab a plate and I'll place it up. Right, here we go. Get this one out. Oh, quite heavy. That's always a good sign. Oh, lovely. That bit of mozzarella you can see there. Oh, yeah. Lovely stuff. I think that'll do for one person.